On thematic day, I thought I might mention there was a gentleman at some point that contacted me. I had this service that I paid for. Donna can confirm it if need be. It was called House Values, HOUSEVALUES. It was before the other service that robbed me blind and caused a big problem of tiger paw, TIGERPAW. That came much later. But House Values was you actually have to ask for someone to contact you, did you a free home evaluation, and it was like a low grade website, perfect for what I needed and what I liked. Like the more simplistic, the better. Let's not get too crazy, and this shit is the dumbest waste of time I've ever seen, but there's a slight use for it when it works, which is not usual. But anyway, somebody by the name of, I think Pat, he went by Pat, I believe, or Patrick Mcmanus, P-A-T, and then M-C-M-A-N-U-S. Now, it was interesting because I met with him, I don't remember how. The address, though, I do remember. It was 69 West, and then it was D-O-G, and then it was W-O-O-D. And that was in, I think, either Mastic or Mastic Beach, M-A-S-T-I-C, or M-A-S-T-I-C-B-E-A-C-H. It was one or the other. It was a corner house. It was white. It was like a little ranch. So I met with him, and in one of the meetings, he wanted to meet with me to update something on the paperwork, maybe a price change. I can't remember. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I went to go meet him. I can't even remember what his face looks like. I'll be honest with you. It's one of those, like, where I'm like, you could be anybody. I don't memorize faces, and sometimes when I don't memorize things, it's because you're either I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't, whatever. But I know it's either a ghost or a phantom account measure. So now he was, let me think about this. He's a local. He was selling a house. And I was in the kitchen with him because it was like a weird layout where it was like part of the house was maybe like one apartment and then there was another. And I was like talking to him in the kitchen. He's like, wow, he's like, you really look like somebody that I know. And I'm like, I do? I was like, oh. I was like, okay. And he's like, and now I had brown sunglasses, like thick brown, like tortoise shell sunglasses on. And he said, you always wear those kind of sunglasses? Meaning the tortoise shell ones. And I said, I think so. I mean, I have worn other styles before. It's just, this is what I got right now. You know, I usually buy one pair at a time, so this way I don't lose whatever. And he's like, oh, I think he might even ask me about aviators. He might have. And I was like, I think I have worn them before. Yeah. Right. I mean, that always goes back to, right. Okay. So now, because that ties back to the, what I called Limelight, but it's not the New York City Limelight, because somebody took me there like years after it was popular, and it was like a tiered like seating arrangement, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not, I mean, I call my thing the Limelight, but that's not the New York City Limelight. I was somewhere in like, right, if Brooklyn was tied up in a Brooklyn basement, And I took her over to a spiral staircase with the limelight that looked like it could be in Brooklyn, in New York City, but it was definitely not. And then there was like a tall building, looked like the Chrysler building, but it wasn't because it's like 3 times the size. And that's where the superheroes work, and they call it MFA somewhere in the world, right? And she will probably, I don't know if she'll ever discover or trip over exactly what country that's in. Is that acceptable? I mean, why wouldn't it be acceptable? Especially if Superman was at the end of that staircase, that spiral staircase she was walking down. She had the correct face on. He was exactly what she was looking for. He gave her a piggyback ride, and she never wanted to leave home without him. Right. So that was Superman the night that I met him. I don't know who you think Superman might be, right? He was wearing, yeah, look at that. Same outfit he always wears, white shirt, jeans, and brown shoes in superhero territory. Let's see. Yeah, he has one other catchy outfit. It is like some kind of black yarn getup with whatever, some cotton pants. In the cargo whatever category. Let's think about this. I gotta think of what else you had that was important that I should say. Right, well, that was a sunflower. Like, you're my sunshine, my sunflower. Right, no, I get that. Right, and I think that's where Scandinavia came from. Or it was, no, not Scandinavia, because that's what everybody talks about. It was Svetlandia, right. It was Svetlandia instead of Svetlana. It was Svetlandia. And, right, you either got Sven on the end of that one, but I think that's Alexander James. And then there's, right, we just stuck with Superman on that one. And he's like, remember what my face looks like? And I was like, just said it was the best face I ever seen. He's like, that's it. So, right, there was the... Oh, by the way, that guy, Pat Mcmanus, I don't know if it's a popular name. Like, is it like a John Smith? Like, there could be like 50,000 of them in a database somewhere. I don't know. But I just saw him on New York publication on the propaganda machine they call television, that thing. Right, when it turns on and people find it useful, I find it really aggravating. It said that there was a Pat Mcmanus with a photo. Could have been same guy. I can't remember 100%. Not because I don't want to, just because it gets foggy. And what torsion are we in today? It depends on where I reboot is what I can remember and recall and attach to. And then regurgitate in some format that may be useful in, like, how long is this gonna take to come rescue me if we're the only 2 that know what the fuck's going on? I thought that you had like maybe 2 to 5 friends. That would be a 7, right? Oh, D3 fucked up to 75, right? So are we at like 25 good men at least? I mean, I don't know, how many friends do you need to get one girl out of like New York and never look back? Yeah, I don't know.